What's going on, guys? It's Cimoooooooo. Now, do you want to learn a deck that can special summon an absurd amount of monsters from the graveyard, that can fusion summon, Xyz summon, synchro summon, and can open a turn 1 board of number 38 Crystal Wing, and another monster that can negate a spell or trap card on turn 1? Well, let me introduce you to DDD. DDD is an archetype comprised primarily of dark fiend-type monsters. The strength of this deck lies in its ability to generate massive boards through the use of massive graveyard recursion. Another advantage of DDD is that a majority of the main deck cards are available in the Pendulum Domination structure deck, making the deck relatively budget compared to other competitive options. Now let's begin by going over the monster lineup. DD Swirl Slime and Necro Slime are two of the deck's strongest cards, acting as a themed polymerization for the archetype. Swirl Slime allows you to fuse from your hand using itself and other fusion materials, and Necro Slime permits a fusion summon by banishing itself and any fusion material monsters from the graveyard. Swirl Slime also has an added effect of being able to special summon a DD monster from your hand by banishing Swirl Slime from the graveyard. Both Swirl Slime and Necro Slime are key combo pieces, enabling the deck to summon monsters like DDD Oracle King D'Arc, which restores life points anytime you would take effect damage, Flame King Genghis, which enables absurd graveyard recursion, and Dragonbane King Beowulf, who has a built-in Heavy Storm effect. There's also DD Lamia, who's the archetype pseudo-plague spreader zombie. As a level 1 tuner with an effect to easily special summon itself to the field, combined with the vast amount of graveyard recursion at the deck's disposal, Lamia enables some ridiculous synchro plays and can be easily abused. Now moving into the Pendulum Monsters, we have DD Savant Kepler, acting as the deck's elemental hero Stratos, and allowing us to add any dark contract card from deck to hand. This essentially translates to searching out archetype-themed Rhoda, Miracle Fusion, or Regeki Break respectively. There's also Savant Thomas, whose Pendulum effect can add back any face-up DD monster from the extra deck to hand, and whose on-field destroys a monster in the Pendulum Zone and brings out a level 8 DDD monster from the deck in defense position. Its effects are negated, but Thomas's purpose is to further fuel the graveyard and trigger the effects of the deck's other monsters like Flame King Genghis. Savant Copernicus plays the role of Armageddon Knight, acting as a nice starter and filling the graveyard with monsters and spells that can be easily recovered. And Orthos is a nice searchable one-of that can destroy enemy floodgates like Vanity's Emptiness and Anti-Spell Fragrance. And finally, DDD Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok takes graveyard recursion to an entirely new level. While it's in the Pendulum Zone, if another DD monster is special summoned, Ragnarok special summons another DD monster from the graveyard. You may take 1000 damage and have all battle damage be reduced for the turn by half, but it's worth it. Ragnarok also special summons a DDD monster from the graveyard when it's normal or special summoned to the field. So as you can see, DDD is a deck that synergizes and snowballs very rapidly once its monsters start emerging from the graveyard. Oh, and Ragnarok also has another on-field effect that can banish an opponent's monster by tributing another DD monster on the field, just because why not? Now looking at the extra deck, we've already covered cards like D'Arc, Genghis, and Beowulf for the fusions, but there's also DDD Wave Oblivion King Caesar Ragnarok. And while it's seldom summoned, it can make a huge impact on the board and deal massive damage with its ability to equip opposing monsters it battles and absorb their attack points. As for synchros, there's Gus King Alexander, another monster that enables the chain of endless graveyard recursion, and then there's Cursed King Siegfried, who has a quick effect that can negate the effects of a face-up spell or trap card until the next standby phase. Now this is crazy because you can activate Vanity's Emptiness, have it active during your opponent's turn, then turn it off during your own turn, flood the field with monsters, and more often than not, win the game. And then wrapping up the DDD lineup, we have Duodon King Kali Yuga. Now not only does this monstrosity negate all card effects on the field once Xyz summoned, but it can also Heavy Storm the field and recur dark contracts from the graveyard. But in addition to the DDD lineup, the extra deck can also easily accommodate monsters like Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, Psyframe Lord Omega, Trishula, and number 38 Hope Harbinger, summoning them with ease. The spells supporting DDD are solely for boosting consistency. Starting with the 2 Dark Contracts. Dark Contract with the Gate is the deck's continuous reinforcement of the army, and Dark Contract with the Swamp acts as a continuous Miracle Fusion. While the effects of both of these powerful cards can be used once per turn, they come at the cost of 1,000 life points per standby phase, so it's always important to take that into account. However, this can be remedied with D'Arc, making this drawback a boon by bestowing you with 1,000 life points per contract each turn instead. Since DDD are all dark monsters, then naturally Allure of Darkness has a lot of potential to help with consistency. Trade-in is also a good option, as Ragnarok and Thomas are both level 8, and sometimes better off in the graveyard anyway than in your hand. There's also always Pot of Desires as well, since the deck typically runs 3 copies of every important combo piece. In addition, 1-for-1 is a great way to easily summon Kepler or Lamia to the field without wasting a normal summon. Foolish Burial is always good in any graveyard-centric deck, and since the deck's monsters have such a varying range of levels, Reasoning can be surprisingly effective, giving the deck yet another way to get a free special summon onto the field. Since DDD is a rather combo-focused deck, the deck does not typically run many traps. Dark Contract with the Witch is usually a one-of because it's searchable, acting as a continuous Regeki break, but also giving all Fiend-type monsters an additional 1,000 attack points during your opponent's turn, making them much more resilient in battle. Bear in mind that like all contracts, this card also comes with a cost of 1,000 life points. Vanity's Emptiness is also a good option because it's Vanity's Emptiness, and Dimensional Barrier is arguably a format-defining trap card. Now, to demonstrate the raw potential that DDD possess, I'm going to showcase a 4-card combo that ends with a number 38 Hope Harbinger, Cursed King Siegfried, and Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. To perform this combo, all you need is a Dark Contract with the Gate and any 3 of the 4 cards below, and with your Dark Contract, you're going to search your missing combo piece. So to start off, you're going to fuse your DD Swirl Slime and Kepler for DDD Flame King Genghis. Now, once that's done, you're going to normal summon DD Lamia, and you're going to synchro the Flame King Genghis and the Lamia for Gust King Alexander. Now, from this point, you're going to banish the DD Swirl Slime from grave to special summon Oblivion King Abyss Ragnarok from your hand. Now, what happens next is very important for this combo to work, as both Gust King Alexander and Ragnarok are going to trigger. Alexander is going to trigger as Chain Link 1, targeting the Lamia, and Ragnarok's going to trigger as Chain Link 2, targeting the Flame King Genghis. Now, once the chain resolves, the Ragnarok is going to special summon the Flame King Genghis, Alexander is going to special summon the Lamia, and since the chain was built this way, Genghis will now trigger summoning the Kepler from our graveyard, and Kepler will now trigger adding Dark Contract with the Swamp King from deck to hand. Now from here, we're going to activate Dark Contract with the Swamp King, we're going to Synchro Lamia and Kepler for Formula Synchron and draw a card. Now from here, we're going to sync the Flame King Genghis as well as the Formula Synchron for our Cursed King Siegfried. After that, we're going to activate the effect of DD Lamia from Graveyard, getting rid of Dark Contract with the Gate and special summoning Lamia from the grave. Then we're going to sync Lamia with Alexander to make Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, and then we're going to use our Dark Contract with Swamp King to banish 2 of our monsters from the graveyard, special summon Dragonbane King Beowulf, and overlay that with Ragnarok for number 38. I really hope you guys enjoyed this introduction to DDD. If you did, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel for more amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content, and be sure to back me on Patreon, because just by pledging $1 a month, you're investing in my ability to continue bringing you guys amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content. So thank you so much again. We'll see you next time.